After creating your story map and writing everything, now you can come to design. Remember I said I use heading 1 for a reason, and this reason I'm going to show you now. When you come to design, you see this navigation tab. Actually it's optional, but this navigation, once you click it on, it's going to create a navigation tab for you for your story, so it will make your story navigable. Then, and imagine I'm right at the top here and I want to go to the map that was created. I just have to click this and it will take me there. And as soon as I'm done with this, maybe I've gone through it and I feel like I want to read more about why water quality is important, I'll just have to click on it to go through it. So with this navigation tab, I don't have to scroll from up to down before I can access a part of my story. And this can be done, this navigation tab is only usable when you use heading 1. Now if I change this heading to heading 2, it will take it off from the navigation tab. So for me to make it navigable, I have to make use of heading 1. So note that for anything you want to use as a kind of subtopic to be able to navigate your story, you have to make it heading 1 for that to be possible. Also, after creating your story, including all the elements and everything needed for the story, this design area is for you to just polish your story cover. Is actually used for this top. So this cover, when I'm using the minimal, let me make use of this side by side. Can you see the difference? So I have to go to design to do that. And also if I want it full, can you see the difference? I have my words up on top the image, but I'm making use of minimal, so you can play around with that. Also we have the theme. For the theme, we have summit, everything here you can make use of it. Currently I'm using this, so if I'm to use obsidian, I'll click on it and everything will change. So this theme is like changing the background and everything, the color, it is inbuilt, so you just have to click it. If I'm to use Mesa, you see the difference, and sometimes it changes the way your story looks. If I'm to use Mesa, this is mine. You see the separator? When I pick Mesa, it's looking red, but if I pick Tider, it's going to change it to another thing, red also. And if I pick Slate, it's going to thicken it. Some people want their separator to be thick so that it can be obvious that it's different from the rest. So this can be done by making use of this theme. So you can, if you have some feature themes, we have some feature themes from S3 that you can use. If I use this, can you see that my separator is now different from the rest? Back to school, can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? And if you change the body of your story map, is apart from this, we also have browse my theme. And if you don't have a theme, we also have a logo. You can upload your logo on your story. After everything, this is what our story map looks like. One question people do ask is that if you are not done with this, what can you do? Maybe you can't create a story on a go, you want to rest, you want to take a break. All you have to do is just leave it, because as you are building it, it's saved. So all you need to do is go out of it points. So let me go to our access point again. You can find it from resources, then access points, and now I want to go to StoryMap. So the story I just created now, this is it, right? If you feel like you don't want to write the story in one sitting, you can just leave it, then go back to your access point and go to your contents. Then you will see it under the draft. Then you can click on it again and continue with your story. So once you are done with all the edits and everything, then you preview. Are you sure you want to discard any unsaved? Okay, still saving. Now it's saved. So now preview. So this is what my story map looks like. The preview is just for you to be sure you've added everything needed. Yes. And once you are done with the preview, all you need to do is to close preview. So you close the preview by pressing this cancel. Then now you can publish it. When you're about to publish your story map, we have the option that says the sharing level, private, organization, and everyone. So if you make it private, nobody is going to be able to access your story map. If you share the story map link to anyone, they won't be able to open it. So it's always advisable when you are done with your story to share it with everyone. So it says anyone can view this item. The person in fact, anybody you send it to don't have to have access to NCCIP, ArcGIS Online, StoryMap. It can be open on any web browser as long as you make it everyone public. Set the sharing level to everyone, except you don't want this to go out and it can only be private to you. But if you want people to see what you are working on, if you want to share your work with your group member or anybody, you have to make sure it is on public so that they can see it. And so once you pick everyone, it means that it's going to show in web search results. If you allow duplicates, it will allow people to duplicate your work. But if you don't want that, just leave it the way it is. Then you can publish. So once you finish publishing your work, you can see that we don't have preview, publish, or anything again. Now you can scroll down just to see your work. Then this is the share button. You can copy the link. You can share it by Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So for now, I'm going to copy the link. So this link you copied, if you go to web browser and type in it's going to show you all the stories you created. So because it's made public, anybody you share this link with, they'll be able to view your story just like I'm viewing it. but if you make it private, they won't be able to view it. So it's advisable to make it public so that everyone can have access to your story. Now if you feel like, where can I access the story I just published, go back to your access points, then you see it under your content. You can see publish, and if you make it favorite, I clicked it as favorite, you'll find it under your favorite. So anything you publish, you are working on, you see it under your content. And if you feel like you want to add more things to this story map, you can just click here and edit, and it will take you back to editing your story. Can you see? And take you back to editing your story. So there are other things I didn't really mention in this story map, which you can also play along with. We have the button, you can make use of that. We have the code. If you have a code you want to, or a script you want to include in your story, you can write it there. And this, you can also use it to create a table, so within your story map. Also remember, you can always screenshot your table and bring it in form of image, but if you don't want that, you can easily create your table on the story map. Also the audio, if you have an audio recording, you can also use this to bring in your audio. All you have to do is just click it, it says browse your file. So that is why I advised that you should have a folder where you have everything you need to build your story. And don't forget, anytime you edit your story map, make sure after that, is only after publishing. Remember I said if you have not published it before, you can leave it and go. Just because you've not published it, it's going to be under draft. But after you have published it, after you've published it and you edited it, make sure you publish it again. So it's on everyone. One thing I want to say again is that the link you sent, let's say you published it, you sent the link out, this link, you copy the link to your story map, you sent it out, and who have gone through your story map and they gave you some feedback on the story map to adjust something or anything, you don't need to send another link to them. As soon as you update that feedback on your story map, automatically it's going to be updated. So you don't need to send them another link, you just have to update it from your end and they will see the updates at their end. So that brings us to the end of StoryMaps. If you have any question, you can always reach out back to us. Thank you.